When you think of iconic 90s stars, Christina Ricci's name immediately comes to mind. With her dark hair, sharp wit, and a screen presence far beyond her years, she stood out as one of the most unforgettable child actors of her generation. From playing the deadpan and deliciously sarcastic Wednesday Addams in the Addams Family to starring in Casper, Christina Ricci was everywhere. She was hailed as a child prodigy, a rising star destined to dominate Hollywood. But then, something changed. She never quite became the massive A-list actress that many predicted. You didn't see her headlining blockbuster franchises, and she seemed to fade in and out of the spotlight. So, what happened to Christina Ricci? How did a child star with so much promise transform into one of Hollywood's most fascinating, but often overlooked, figures? The truth is a story of early fame, reinvention, and a career that never quite fit into the Hollywood mold. Christina Ricci was born on February 12, 1980, in Santa Monica, California, the youngest of 4 siblings. She grew up in New Jersey, and her path to stardom began almost by accident. At the age of 9, she appeared in a school play, and her performance caught the eye of a local critic who suggested she try acting professionally. Soon after, Christina landed her first film role in Mermaids, 1990, alongside Cher and Winona Ryder. Even at such a young age, Christina had a unique screen presence. She wasn't the cookie-cutter child star. She had an intensity, a mix of innocence and maturity, that set her apart. And just a year later, she landed the role that would make her a household name, Wednesday Addams. In The Addams Family, 1991, and its sequel Addams Family Values, 1993, Christina Ricci stole the show. Her portrayal of Wednesday was iconic, a perfect balance of creepy and charming, hilarious and terrifying. Audiences couldn't get enough. Wednesday became a pop culture icon, and Christina Ricci became one of the biggest child stars of the decade. She followed up with another hit in Casper, 1995, a family-friendly supernatural film that showcased her ability to move between dark comedy and heartfelt emotion. By her mid-teens, Christina had already achieved more success than most actors dream of in a lifetime. But here's where things got complicated. Being a child star is tough, but being that child star is even harder. Christina was known for her intelligence, her wit, and her ability to play characters with a dark edge. That made her brilliant on screen. But it also meant she wasn't easily slotted into the typical Hollywood mold for teen actresses. As she grew older, Christina started taking on edgier, more mature roles. She wanted to prove she wasn't just a child star. She starred in films like The Ice Storm, 1997, Buffalo 66, 1998, and The Opposite of Sex, 1998. These performances earned her critical acclaim. Critics praised her fearlessness and her ability to dive into complex, flawed characters. She even earned a Golden Globe nomination for The Opposite of Sex. But while critics loved her, mainstream audiences weren't always sure what to make of this new, grown-up Christina Ricci. She wasn't chasing romantic comedies or teen blockbusters, she was choosing indie films, often with dark themes and controversial subject matter. In short, she wasn't trying to be America's sweetheart. She wanted to be an artist. By the early 2000s, Christina Ricci was firmly established as an indie darling. She starred in Sleepy Hollow, 1999, opposite Johnny Depp, Prozac Nation, 2001, and Monster, 2003. And she played Selby, the girlfriend of serial killer Eileen Wuornos, portrayed by Charlize Theron. Her role in Monster was critically acclaimed, and the film went on to win Charlize Theron an Academy Award. Once again, Christina had proven her talent. But here's the thing, even with all this critical success, Christina Ricci never quite broke into the A-list. She wasn't landing blockbuster franchises, she wasn't headlining billion-dollar films, and she wasn't becoming the face of Hollywood. Why? Well, part of it comes down to Hollywood itself. Christina Ricci was never the safer choice. She was edgy, she was bold, And she gravitated toward characters who were messy, dark, and difficult. While that made her a favorite among critics and certain audiences, it also made it harder for studios to market her as a mainstream star. Another factor was timing. The 2000s saw Hollywood leaning heavily into big-budget franchises, rom-coms, and teen movies. For actresses, the path to superstardom often meant playing roles that fit into those boxes. Christina, however, wasn't interested in being typecast. In interviews, she's admitted that she preferred unusual roles, ones that scared her or challenged her. And while that made her filmography fascinating, it also made it unpredictable. As a result, her career became a mix of indie gems, cult favorites, and occasional mainstream projects that didn't always connect at the box office. By the late 2000s, Christina Ricci's presence in Hollywood seemed to fade. She was still working, but her roles weren't making the same cultural impact as her earlier work. Part of this had to do with personal struggles. Christina has been open about her battles with anxiety, body image, and the pressures of growing up in the spotlight. She's admitted that her teenage years and early adulthood were difficult, and that Hollywood often amplified those struggles. She also went through some challenging times in her personal life. Her first marriage, to James Hirdigan, ended in a highly publicized divorce in 2020, with Ricci filing for a restraining order and speaking out about abuse she endured. It was a painful chapter, but it also showed her strength and resilience as she fought to move forward. So, where is Christina Ricci now? In recent years, she's been experiencing something of a renaissance. In 2021, she joined the cast of Showtime's Yellowjackets, a psychological drama about a girls' soccer team stranded in the wilderness after a plane crash. Christina plays Misty Quigley, a quirky, obsessive, and unsettling character who quickly became a fan favorite. Her performance reminded audiences of why they fell in love with her in the first place, her ability to bring humor, darkness, and depth to every role she takes on. Yellowjackets earned critical acclaim. And suddenly, Christina Ricci was back in the cultural conversation. She also appeared in Netflix's Wednesday series in 2022, a fitting full-circle moment, given her history as the original Wednesday Addams. This time, she played a teacher named Marilyn Thornhill, showing she could embrace her legacy while still doing something new. On top of that, Christina has built a happy family life. In 2021, she married hairstylist Mark Hampton. And later that year, she welcomed her second child. So, what happened to Christina Ricci? The truth is, nothing tragic. Nothing scandalous. What happened is this: Christina Ricci grew up, stepped away from the Hollywood machine, and built a career that was true to who she is. She may not have become the blockbuster superstar that some predicted, but she became something arguably more interesting, an actress with a body of work that's bold, unique, but unforgettable. From Wednesday Addams to Yellowjackets, Christina Ricci has shown that she's not here to fit into anyone's box. She's here to tell stories that matter to her, to play characters that challenge her, and to keep surprising audiences, even decades after her debut. Christina Ricci's story is a reminder that success in Hollywood isn't always about chasing the biggest roles or staying in the spotlight 24/7. Sometimes, it's about longevity, reinvention, and staying true to yourself, even when it means stepping out of the mainstream. So while she may not be dominating the box office, Christina Ricci has built something arguably more impressive, a career that's authentic, resilient, and still evolving. And with her recent comeback, it's clear that Christina Ricci isn't done surprising us yet. Now, I want to hear from you. What's your favorite Christina Ricci performance? Do you love her as Wednesday? Or do you think her best work came later, in films like Monster or shows like Yellowjackets? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the stars who shaped our childhoods. Because sometimes, the actors you think disappeared are still here, and they're just getting started.